Well, for weeks, look how we're all stacked. For weeks, we've been watching Love is Blind as the couples from here in Denver fell in love and in and out of drama. Yesterday, it was down to the I do's. It was so good.
I don't know. I don't know that I would call it good.
That's because you've never seen. That's because you guys have been watching year after year. This is new for me. I still loved it.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that Denver represented and made some people happy because I thought the season was a hot mess. Here to discuss it all, our pop culture guru, Rachel Krause, joining us. We did a little before the day before, we kind of took a poll amongst the three of us who we thought would get engaged. You said you thought Allie and Anton would get engaged. You said you and I both said maybe. Oh, excuse me, married. Yes, sorry guys. Sparkle, Meg, and Jordan. And guess what? We were all wrong.
Although your predictions yesterday were right, because I quizzed you, and everything that happened, you had predicted.
I really wanted to hold out hope that at least one couple was going to get married, and I thought the likeliest of all the couples was going to be Sparkle, Megan, and Jordan, and she just could not seem to get over that hurdle. You know, it was just really very, very tough to watch, I think.
Well, especially because I feel like she tried to reassure him throughout this entire process outside of the pods. Our differences in lifestyles don't matter, and you don't have to be fancy, you don't have to make as much money. But ultimately, when she elected not to take him to the altar, which I do respect, but broke it off with him, was like, oh, we're so different. Well, no duh.
And honestly, it was so strange to me. I thought I thought that her big changing point was when she wanted to go play tennis with him at 10:30 in the morning on a random day, and he was like, I have to work. And she seemed very confused, that seemed to be whatever turning point. And then when they were at The Bachelorette, her friends just kept asking. And you could just kind of see her being like, oh yeah, no, I don't actually think this is gonna fit, which was really kind of tough to see. You could really just kind of see him really very upset and sad and crying.
That was hard for me. I hate seeing when people are heartbroken.
Yeah.
But it was also good TV, I'll be honest.
Upsetting for me, though, I didn't like good TV or not that a child was involved.
I agree with that.
And she had no business meeting that man's son.
Yes.
None.
And you could hear him clearly say, do you have any regrets? And it was that he had introduced her to his son. And you have to really respect that. He was really immediately reflective of that moment. No matter how this has gone for him and how this is played on television, this is about his son.
Right. What do you think about KB and Edmund? What do you think about that one?
No one was surprised. I don't think any single viewer watching that was surprised, except for perhaps Edmund. And it was really kind of tough to watch.
It was kind of sad.
It was really sad because the most endearing part of that entire wedding episode was the fact that we got to see him with his 5th grade teacher and hear about all these heartbreaking moments. We'd known about his trauma, the fact that his mom didn't even want to be there at the wedding. And then this is all happening, and to watch that happen, it was just really very sad and very heartbreaking. And I think KB handled it as best she could, but you could just see her her mom was like, well, what would have happened? Oh, I would have been miserable. So it's clearly it was the right decision, even though it was awful to watch that play out.
Yeah, she's a class act. I'm glad at the end of I wonder how long she knew. Just curious.
The whole time?
You think so?
I think she was a little cold. Yeah, I think she knew that she was going to say no. She did her own hair and makeup, for God's sakes. She knew she was not going to marry that man. I think from the very beginning, this is just my opinion, I think that she carried it for the screen time. Do I think she cared about him? Yes. Do I think she ever looked at him as a potential husband? No, I do not. I stand by that. Let's talk about Allie and Anton, one of your favorite couples.
I know. I just thought that. I thought
that was never going to happen.
I thought they were so cute together.
For 5 minutes outside of the pods.
Oh, man.
And they were really cute. But I don't know, watching them bicker about their differences in lifestyles. She seemed very offended that he was going to different clubs and going to different places. She had a lot of concerns about his drinking, and based on his lying, sure, that made a lot of sense. She also didn't seem to want to do anything to take care of their house, and that didn't seem to be any kind of a red flag for him. So, yeah, I think, it's just really kind of an unsurprising one.
And ultimately, she was just like, you're not my person. The end. The reunion happens next Wednesday, so we will be tuned in, and we have a special treat for you next week. Rachel Krause, thank you.
All right, that's all for us at 9 News at 3.
We're back in 90 seconds for 9 News at 4.